Hi, I'm John Ratzenberger. If you want to know America, you've got to meet the folks who work in factories and workshops. So sit back and relax, because we've got it made in America. Manlius, New York is a comfy, cozy town full of friendly, hardworking people who live in lovely, charming homes. You get the feeling that it's been here since way back when, and that it's going to be here forever. How fitting, then, that Manlius is home to a manufacturer whose beautiful furniture has been with us since way back when and is built to last forever. Welcome to the Stickley Furniture Company, where you can see in the showroom what they build in their amazing factory. In fact, if you take a public tour of the factory, you can see how they build it. From this, they make these. Top drawer quality in every aspect. It's a thrill to see how they do what they do. This huge factory is filled with skilled craftsmen and artisans who told me that they'd rather do this than anything else. No wonder. They get the joy of building some of the finest furniture in the world, and the satisfaction of knowing that their work is going to be appreciated by generation after generation into the 22nd century and beyond. The factory opened here in 1985 and now has 400,000 square feet of production space. This is company historian Mike Daniel, who spent his entire working life at Stickley, so he knows all the secrets of their success.
John, Leopold Stickley, Gustav Stickley, at the turn of the century, they put a tongue and a groove glue joint on every single board.
Let's show how that marries up. There's the tongue and there's the groove, and it slots in together like that. That's got to be an expensive way to do it, though.
Yeah, well, they were not concerned about expense. They were concerned about good joinery.
Stickley's owners, Amini and Alfred Audi, bought the company in 1975. Things were a little different then.
We had 25 employees.
25? You probably got 25 just in the showroom now.
Yes, actually a little bit more than that.
Oh, no.
Almost every department has more than 25 employees now.
And
we have nearly 1,400 people now.
1,400 workers who come from all over the world.
We have 35 countries, and we are very fortunate because they represent the finest workforce any place. We are lucky enough to work with a refugee resettlement program. We have people from the Ukraine, from Bosnia, from Vietnam, literally from all over, and they work as a very cohesive team.
They all seem very happy.
Extremely.
Stickley Furniture was founded in Fayetteville, New York in 1900 by Leopold and John George Stickley. The brothers' simple yet elegant line of handcrafted mission oak furniture was based on a worldwide artistic movement called arts and crafts. Here in America, we know it better as craftsmen, which today connotes the idea that an object of handmade beauty is a joy forever. Stickley's graceful designs were the perfect marriage of form and function, and quickly earned the company a well-deserved reputation for excellence. By the time Leopold Stickley died in 1957, Stickley Furniture was one of the most celebrated and admired furniture companies in the world. Without its leader, though, the company fell on hard times, and by the early 1970s, it had only 22 full-time employees. That's when Amini and Alfred took a huge financial risk and bought the company. They succeeded by going back to basics. Stickley uses the best wood in the world. It's mostly oak with some cherry and mahogany. Each piece of wood is cut, then planed. Now come the tongue and groove. After that, this incredible router cuts appropriate patterns and holes. Now is when the real craftsmanship begins. Stickley knows that modern machinery can only do so much. The rest has to come from old-world craftsmanship of artisans like Brenda Bennett.
I've sanded on the bench for 10 years, and I really enjoy it. And I love bringing out the beauty of the wood, the natural grain.
It's very calming, too, isn't it, sanding?
Yes,
I always enjoy that when I make anything.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, what they give you in psychiatric hospitals to calm you down, a piece of wood and sandpaper.
Everyone who works here puts a little of themselves into every piece. What are we building?
We're building a oak dresser. We have to mark them so every one of them is going to be consistent.
Did you take shop in school?
Yes, I did. Now we're ready for our other end. Okay, John, that's what we use a mallet for, otherwise you'll hurt your hand.
But I don't want all those karate lessons to go to waste, Tony.
Wow, Tony, those are tight joints.
Yes, they are.
That's really strong.
Okay, John, now this is where you come in.
What am I doing?
You're going to get inside that drawer and stand in it. And
We'll stand in it.
We'll show you how strong it is. Go ahead.
All right. That's a surprise.
Now comes the big finish. As in beautiful, sleek, last forever finish.
This is where the craftsman is taking a look at the wood. I mean, he's looking at the grain and he's making a decision. I want to add a little more color here.
Where?
I want to touch up a little color here. And that little bit of color, that's going to stay there.
Obviously, it's all in the wrist. Maybe not.
After this, how many more stains will go on?
There could be up to 3 or 4 more applications of color. And this is called hand rubbing. It's labor intensive, it takes a lot of skill, and
It's like watching a tennis match here. Great.
John, you see how the sheen is developing? You know, you don't want a high sheen, you don't want a low sheen, you want the right sheen. But here's the cool part. As time goes on, this sheen develops into a patina. So, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30, 50, 100, 200 years from now, this finish is going to look different.
Sheens are some really good actors, too.
Sheen.
All right, let's recap. They sand it, apply lacquer, stain by hand, apply yet more lacquer, and finally, endless hand rubbing. Huh, maybe Stickley means stickler in German. Kids, don't try this at home, unless you've got a Stickley. If you do, here's another test.
I can close it with one finger from the side.
Any drawer, one finger.
But how long will this piece of furniture last?
John, we better have a couple hundred years out of this piece of furniture. Honest to gosh, think about it.
Heirloom.
It's going to go on to generation. The ultimate cost of this piece of furniture is inconsequential.
So if you buy Stickley furniture, you have to have children.
You better have kids and grandkids and grandkids after that.
It's sure nice to know that there are some things you can count on forever.